Hey Queen, thank you so much for clicking on my video or hitting subscribe to my podcast. Welcome to the Femalepreneur Coach podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Barr, aka the Femalepreneur Coach, and I'm really excited to jump on and talk to you today about something that's quite timely. I've literally just jumped off a hot seat coaching call with the Academy ladies, the ladies inside my Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy. And one thing that comes up, I think, a lot for me again and again in business, because I am such a heart-led business coach and I'm super spiritual, I attract a lot of women that are also heart-led service providers. So, healers, people that are helping, in other ways. But what then happens is that they are not out there doing their business or conducting their business in a way that really serves them. They are almost too far in their feminine energy that they have all of these misconceptions and limiting beliefs that for them to win, someone else needs to lose. They don't want to operate their business in a way that feels shady. And I totally get that. I am so here for that. And I'm here to tell you that you do not need to do that. You don't need to do anything out of integrity with you and your values in your business. However, you do have to balance your masculine and feminine energy in business, because if you're too much in your feminine, it's great to be a creative and be a really great person and have lots of collaboration and, just incredible gifts that you're sharing with the world. But if you don't balance that out with the masculine, and no, you don't need a 20-point funnel system and all the automations and bells and whistles in business, and you don't need to be sleazy or ick or sell your soul to be successful. But if you don't have an intentional customer journey that enables you to ultimately get to the good bit of business and support your clients with the gifts that you have to share, then you don't really have a business, you have a hobby. And you really are kind of doing a disservice to your clients and your audience by just allowing yourself to sit back so much in your feminine that you're not proactively coming forwards and offering solutions to their problems. So that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about today. And it's not to say that this, came up specifically, but it just sparked something in me off the back of that call where I was thinking about it. That for me, I am very fortunate. I'm a Gemini. I am like two sides of the coin. So I'm super spiritual. I am all about manifestation, quantum leaps, being able to create unrealistic success and calling things that don't seemingly like as if from nowhere. I'm all about that. But I'm also about being super strategic. And a lot of people don't see this side of me because they just see this version of me who's out here trying to change the game, trying to be the change that I want to see in the coaching space, in the business mentoring space, that maybe hears me talk about money and other things. But you don't necessarily see that behind the scenes. I'm also a complete tech nerd. I love a spreadsheet. I'm super strategic. I am very consistent. Like, yes, I have ultimate time freedom with my kids and I'm there for every school run, but you best believe I'm working on the other days. I never really set up a business so that I didn't have to do any work. Like for me, that isn't fulfilling. Like I love what I do. I love being able to funnel all of this creative and strategic skill set that I have into something that means something, into something that is going to enable me to make the world a better place, into something that is supporting other incredible women and is more than just making money. But you best believe if I wasn't a coach, I was already making money, because I am also a stone cold businesswoman at heart as well. I've got 5 kids, but also I know that when I win and I make money, everybody else wins around me because I'm generous and because I'm a good person and because I pay it forwards and lift others up around me. So I don't have any moral dilemma about me charging my prices, selling every day on my stories and all of the things, because you have to have that balance of both. Otherwise, what will happen, and this is what I've seen happen with a lot of coaches who are like manifestation coaches or something that centers around female energy, they're too much in their what will be energy, too much waiting, like I'll just show up, do my thing and trust that the universe will guide the right people to me. And absolutely there's part of me that believes that, but equally I know, I always like Amanda Francis put it as bow your head and move your feet. Like I'm all about the inspired action and doing what you know to do in order to support the universe and meet them halfway. And that's what I encourage my clients to do. But That being said, you can also do it in a way that feels aligned to you and your values, that doesn't feel ick. So that's where this kind of came from with the call. So I created a DM strategy for my client on that call, who is a healer. So she doesn't want to feel like she's bothering people or hard selling or being spammy or annoying people that don't want to be annoyed. So we had to kind of find a middle ground, because equally she's sitting on a social page with thousands of people in her audience that haven't then taken the leap to move over to her email list, which means that every time she's got a sale, every time she's got a new program, every time she's got some free resources, those people are missing out, because chances are they're not seeing it. The algorithm is limiting their view of what they actually see of her content. It's probably only like 7%. So they're missing out on opportunities to be supported and helped, because she hasn't got the masculine strategies and structure in place in her business to enable her to do that. So what we did was just a very simple DM strategy that, again, doesn't necessarily have to be her that executes. If it doesn't fit in with her zone of genius, I talk a lot about this inside my Business Building Academy, the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy. I'm not supporting women to go out and make a shed ton of money by themselves. That does not make sense. So, because what happens is you will naturally fall into your zone of genius, which is exactly where you should be, and where everybody wins when you win. When you're showing up and doing what you do best, you are going to get those incredible conversions and all of the things. If you are busy doing admin work and all the things, yes, it's validating, because we're hiding behind that and we feel like we're doing, we're doing enough in order to be worthy of any then small crumbs of success that we have in return. We get that. If we're doing all of that, then really we're going to meet like an income ceiling at some point, because there is only so much that you can do and be giving to then be able to receive in return. So whenever I work with women, I'm always doing it on the basis that we are scaling your business. We are building it in a way that means that it doesn't have to stop when you stop, that you are absolutely going to be, and I'm going to be pushing you, building a support team behind you so that you can stay in that zone of genius, and all of these other masculine structures and strategies that don't necessarily, albeit we can find a way where it does feel good to you, but that rely on consistency in order to win, that rely on somebody executing as their first priority rather than an afterthought. That doesn't necessarily need to be you. So let's build a team to support you in doing that. So that's essentially what we did. She's hopefully going to be onboarding a new team member, because again, that's what feels good to me, is not encouraging more women to work harder and add more to their plate. But equally, I'm not about supporting women to leave money on the table either, because like I said, when you win, everybody else wins. And the more money that you make, the more impact that you can make, the more people that you can help, the more that you can serve at a higher level, and the more that the world becomes a better goddamn place. So that is my intention for you. It is about not leaving money on the table by negating these masculine strategies, but equally doing it in a way that feels good. So we created a DM strategy that felt very natural. It felt as if you were, so I essentially said, can you imagine that you had a house party at your house and you invited these 3,000 followers that you have on your Instagram page to your house, and then you just ignored them? And she was like, well, no, because that would be rude. And I'm like, exactly. So it's exactly the same on your socials. As new people come into your audience, you need to literally welcome them with a message that says, hey, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. As a thank you, I would love to offer you this insert free lead magnet here in case it feels aligned and of interest to you. If there's anything else you need right now, please let me know. Is that not a very natural conversation that you would have with anybody? And yet, because we are on social media, it suddenly feels intrusive to have that conversation with somebody when they have put their hand up and said, I want to follow you. I like what you're talking about. This is something that's of interest to me. I'm going to follow your page. I might not necessarily be ready to invest now, and that's absolutely fine, but I'm curious. I'm going to lean in a little bit closer. I'm going to follow you. So she was kind of, reconciled that in her mindset and in her values, that that actually feels quite good. That makes sense to say thank you and to offer something in receipt for somebody exchanging that energy and following your page. So that would be my first step for you, is that if you are and you resonate with the moral dilemma of DM strategies, and it's because we've all been exposed to it, right? We've all had the DM spammy, overly salesy, pushy, like, hey, I love your profile, what you're doing is amazing, that just feels so inauthentic and just awful and really, sleazy and all the things. We've all experienced those. I get like hundreds in a week. And yeah, so therefore it's turned us against it. But that is obviously something that I don't want to be associated with. Or something that, yes, I know I need to do, but I'm not going to prioritize as, like I said, a first point of call rather than an afterthought. And here's the thing, like, you are essentially leaving money on the table, because not only does that give you an opportunity to sell and to serve, because it may be that they come back and they're like, oh, it's so nice to actually meet a real person. Thank you so much for sending me a message. This is actually something that I'm really struggling with right now. Is that something you can help me with? That could be the easiest, quickest conversion you ever made. And selling is serving. So that's okay. But equally, when Instagram recognizes, or any social media platforms, it's always the same. When they recognize that you two are having a genuine interaction, it assumes that you must know each other on a much more intimate level. It means that they are more likely to show each other your content, because then you're more likely to engage on each other's content, which means you're then more likely to stay on their platform. So it's yes, it's a masculine strategy, but you can do it in a feminine way that feels really natural, that feels like, yes, I would do that. If somebody came to my home, I would say, thank you so much for being here. Would you like a drink? Is there anything I can get you? You would be a good host. And that is essentially, for me, what a good DM strategy should be. It's about supporting your clients, but also what it's going to do is get people onto your email list. It's going to give them a taste of the kind of value that you can provide via your lead magnet for them. And this could be an ebook, a webinar, a masterclass, anything that is going to support them with one small step in their journey, build up the confidence in themselves as well as in you as a support, and essentially move them closer to then potentially investing in something higher ticket. So that's one of the strategies that we implemented. Every new follower that comes in every day, just do this as your daily DMO. I used to call it in network marketing, but your daily method of operation, like, just let that be your thing. Energetically close your business down each night by doing that thing, welcoming your new followers. And then equally, it was about retargeting the people that are already currently in your audience with helpful solutions, where it's like, hey, thank you for being in my community. Hope you're good. Notice we haven't had a chance to chat before. Is there anything I can help you with right now? Or, hey, I've got a brand new webinar coming up, or a free masterclass that I'm about to host. Does that sound like something you might be interested? If so, here's the sign up page. Would love to see you there. Like, make it natural, make it conversational, be of service, do it in a way that doesn't feel spammy or ick. You don't have to sell straight out the gate. You can do it in a way that feels good to you, essentially. So, and here's the thing. So that's just one strategy that we implemented. We also looked at ways to up level a launch on that call as well, just adding little bits and pieces at the end. And, with the end goal of increasing buyer decision-making power. So we added on like little hot seat coaching bits into a live launch element, so that people felt seen, heard, could get their questions, could make sure it was a good investment for them. All of the things, like, these are just natural things as human beings that we would want to do anyway. Somebody was about to invest in your program and they had reservations. Would you not want to then ask them, are you okay? Do you need anything? It's like, to make that decision. Do you have any questions? Is that not basic human kindness? And yet we really struggle with that, because we don't want to feel like we're pushing people or coercing or being too salesy or making it about the money. And it's like, it's just a reframe that needs to happen in that scenario. It's just about enabling people to make the right decision for them at the right time, at the right point in their journey, at the right investment level. And being accessible and available for those questions is absolutely fine. It's not about overcoming objections. It's not about providing scarcity or urgency to kind of get people into programs and offers that they've got no business being in. It's just about being a human and supporting people so that they can actually then be served and move from where they currently are to where they want to go, selling and serving, as I said. So those were just a couple of strategies that I think were important to highlight on the podcast episode today, because again, like I say, I attract a lot of women that are just so much in their feminine that they're almost leaning too far back, or just have so much deep mindset work that needs to happen around aligning their belief system that it's okay for them to have more than enough. It's okay for them to have a scalable business that makes six figures. It's okay, even if you don't necessarily need the money, to be of higher service, even if you don't see yourself as an industry leader, to have a greater platform for visibility and impact for change. That's why I've created You Are the Table. It's a brand new wealth activation program. And yes, it's focusing on the money, but it's also focusing on the woman behind the business who really needs to own the value that they bring to the table, but also do it in a way that feels aligned to them, doesn't feel ick, doesn't feel overly salesy. And that comes from having a scalable system that means that, when they stop, their business doesn't have to stop as well. So if that's of something that you're interested in, I'll pop the details in the show note. I'm officially launching at the end of this month. And I would love to have you there, because this is so much more than just the money. It's all of the beautiful intricacies that go around the money, that is essentially us committing every day as female business owners that we are worthy of receiving more, that we have a message that needs to be shared, that we can make an impact and a difference in this world when we fully own the gifts that we bring to the table, and do it in a way that feels sustainable, that feels aligned, that feels in integrity with our values. Isn't that a win-win for everybody? Not only for you, not only for your family, your community, your industry, but also the world at large? Like, yes. So I just wanted to share one last thing for you along that theme of balancing out the masculine and the feminine. Like, you've got a choice in the way that you deliver your business. That's the thing. Like I said, DMs could be very like spammy and awful, or they could be very conversational and natural. But having that strategy in place is absolutely a must in whatever way that feels good to you, because you're growing a social media audience. It's for you to then move them intentionally over onto your email list, or offer them a solution to their problem so that they can move one step further in their customer journey. That's all it is. Because I know lots of people. I had a client recently that had like over 15,000 on her social media following, and she had put the work in to get that number up to there, but she only had such a 0.1% of those people on her email list. So not only has all of that work basically gone to nothing because she's not converting, and because she's not, offering them solutions proactively because she doesn't want to be too salesy, but also she doesn't have a business asset that reflects, i.e. her email list, that reflects the amount of work and time and effort that she's put in. She's also limited the opportunities and potential that she has to sell. And that's the thing, like, a lot of people don't talk about the fact that, you have to work everything that you've got at your disposal. I'm known as the queen of leverage because I don't have a huge audience, but I make a good income because I leverage every single thing, everything that I create, everything that I do, everything that I deliver, everything that every person that's coming into my world. Like, I make the most of those things. I truly believe in quality over quantity. I don't want to burn through my audience. I don't need a huge following. I want to know that everybody that comes into my world feels seen, heard, supported, and valued. So that's why I've built intimate communities, intimate programs. I lean into like high value content, all of the things. And that's what feels good to me. Maybe you want the big numbers, and that's absolutely fine. Girl, do it. I'm here for you. I'm absolutely clapping for you. But again, there's no point having that big audience and following if you're not doing anything with them. So I like to use the 3-box method with my clients. The first one is grow, the second one is nurture, and the third one is leverage. So every week, as long as you have activities in each of these boxes, not only will you continue to grow your audience, grow your business, fuel your business, but also move the people that are already in your current audience further on in their journey to either invest with you at all or invest at a higher level. But you're also then working smarter, not harder, because you're leveraging all of that great social proof that you're creating, all of the assets that you're creating, all of the goodwill that you've created and good karma with those clients to support your growth further. And it just becomes this beautiful, like, circle, because that to me is the key measure of success. It's sustainability. I could give you 100 strategies that you will burn out on, and men could probably do with a team and nothing else going on. But typically, I've got 5 kids. My energy and my mental well-being and my predictable, consistent cash flow in business is everything for me and my family. That's what success looks like. So what does that look like for you, firstly? But again, if you want to avoid the feast and famine cycles in your business, this will support you with that. So the first box is grow. What are we going to do each week to grow our audience, our visibility, and our social, and our personal brand? So that could be like guest expert sessions, collaborations. It could be social media growth strategies. It could just be showing up every day on your content. It could be pitching to press or media, putting yourself forward for speaking opportunities. Those are all great ways to grow your visibility, your profile, your impact, and your audience. Then you need to look at how you nurture and really show your current audience that you value them and demonstrate what a badass you are. That could be through, for me, I have a blog, I have high value social media content, I do my podcast, I've got a Facebook group, I've got a YouTube, I've obviously written my book. Like, I've got a lot of value that's going out every week, as well as my email list. I send out a really great money multiplier mailer every week, which basically rounds up all of the great resources that I've created that week. I do live trainings. Like, what is that for you to continue to remind people that you're here and you're a badass, but also nurture the people that aren't quite ready to invest, build their confidence, build the know, like, trust and factor, but also, the people that are in your current audience and programs, what you're doing to nurture them, to show them that they matter, that you care, because it's not always about bringing new clients. It's also loving on the ones that you've got, and getting them to stay in your world for longer. One thing that I pride myself on is the fact that I've got retention rates that last years. I've got clients that have been with me for years because they see my growth. So therefore they see the longevity and being supported by me, but also I'm with them every step of the way. Like, they feel valued and seen. So why would they need to go somewhere else? And if I'm doing it my own way, that gives them the confidence that they can do it their own way too. So I'm also an embodiment of what I teach. And then leverage, as I said, like, what assets are you creating? Are you pushing that out as far as it possibly can go? Are you, blog posts, they go on Pinterest. My podcast that is recording in my Facebook group, it's going onto Apple and Spotify. It will then go onto YouTube as a video. Like, I'm leveraging absolutely everything that I'm creating. It will all go out to my email list. Again, could go on to Pinterest and TikTok. Like, I'm omnipresent across all social media channels. Now, obviously that takes time, but so maybe you're not there yet first. And I would always say, like, dominate one platform before you move on to others. But equally, don't leave money on the table. If one thing is not working for you right now, the good thing for me, when Instagram has a dip, I've still got Facebook, I've still got my email list, I've still got TikTok, I've still got YouTube, I've still got other channels and ways that people can come to me. And I'm also proactively doing a lot of the grow activities. So I'm continually doing guest expert sessions and pitching and press and PR and all of the things, and creating my own damn tables, girl, because we don't wait around for anything either. So hopefully that makes sense to you. If you have something, and some weeks that box will be full to the brim, or each of those boxes will be full to brim. Some weeks they won't, and they'll just be like a couple of little things, and you'll be kind of more caretaking your business, and that's absolutely fine, because as long as you've got something in each of those boxes, you're good. And you're at least giving yourself a chance to have a predictable, reliable, consistent, stable income, and avoid these feasts and famines where you're like, oh my God, I brought in a loads of clients. Now I'm delivering and I haven't got anything on the front end to bring in more clients. Now I've offboarded these clients, I've got new clients. Like, you're always in that mindset of like, everything's energy, everything's cyclical. I've got to continually have people coming in on the front end as people leave on the back end. And it's like energy, like money. Just, you've got to create capacity and space to allow it to continue to flow. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know your takeaways. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you subscribe and leave reviews, because it really does help me to reach more women. And ultimately, I feel like almost like the anti-coach at this point. Like, I want to be that change and that voice of reason, and just a different narrative in terms of how you can grow your business, where you do get to choose and it does get to be on your terms. But thank you so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day.